Mikey D from Killswitch Engage here at Bloodstock 23.
Hello.
A pleasure to see you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Don't believe it's your first time here either, is it?
I think it is. I'm pretty sure.
Bloodstock?
Pretty sure. May have been one other one. May have been one other time.
Yeah. But
we haven't been back in Europe, UK for 5 years, so everything's just like gone out of my head. I forgot everything. I don't even know how to walk anymore.
That'll be a big tour. I saw you at Glasgow, I think, on that tour as well. That was quite the show, full of energy. We're expecting that tonight as well.
It's going to be more energy and more show tonight. We got lots of really cool stuff planned that I can't mention, but we're all nervous. We'll see how it goes.
That'll be in our review, which will be on in a couple of days' time anyway. I'm going to refer to a few notes here, because I'm going to focus on your artwork, because everyone's been chatting about the music this weekend, but art's a big thing. You've done most, if not all, of the artwork for Killswitch?
Absolutely, yeah. All the covers and a lot of the touring shirts, pretty much everything you've seen. Yeah.
Did the actual band logo, is that yours as well?
It is, yes. A lot of other logos. I've had a design company since 1992. I've done work for Shadows Fall, for All That Remains, Unearth. I've done a lot of logos in the past. Got a lot of stuff in the gallery too. Crowbar. What else? Armored Saint. Lots of really fun stuff. Lots of diverse things.
So Harley Davidson one up there as well?
What's that?
There's a Harley Davidson one up there as well, I think?
There is. Don't tell them though.
Okay. It's a homage.
No, it's a real one. They bought that off me. Anything that's in there was paid for. Whether they used it or not, or whether they want me to show people, it's a different story.
I was having a look, and there is a style to your work. It's quite textured. To get an idea for people, if you look at the Killswitch logo, the way it drips down, you've got that kind of almost a rusty, kind of metallic feel to it, and a lot of your artwork seems to have that over the top of it. Is that a design choice? Is it almost like a trademarky sort of thing?
Yeah, I really got interested in design work through just seeing real items on covers. Let's see, like what COC record is that? The one before Deliverance. Anyways, I really like the look of real items and the fact that you could fake someone's eye into thinking that they could run their finger across it and feel the texture that's going on underneath it. So I've always tried to keep that in my work. I'm not an illustrator, unfortunately. I'm one of those graphic designers that is just a computer guy or a photographer. So most of my stuff involves photography in one way, shape, or form. I'm constantly shooting all little things, little cracks in the walls, banisters, any metal railings, any of that stuff, and then putting it into folders and keeping it for later. A lot of stuff I won't use for like 10 years later. You know, I just never know what I'm going to need, when I'm going to need it. So I have everything you can possibly think of.
So I mean, the advent of one of the things I was going to ask you is what your materials are. You're a digital artist. So one of the advents that's come up now is having a camera on your phone, and I'm a bit of a nerd for that kind of stuff myself. And you go back 15, 20 years, you have to carry a camera around with you to get that kind of image. Now you can just pull your phone out and just see something and go, I like that texture.
True.
And just grab a quick snap, and that just goes into a folder, and it might turn up in an album sleeve or a t-shirt. Or...
Usually does. Usually does. I use almost probably 99% of everything that I take, but it might take 10 years, it might take 20 years, but eventually I'll get to it.
So what software do you use? No plugs, no adverts, just professional advice?
It's all Photoshop or Illustrator. Those are my two main programs. I really love Illustrator lately because you can trace things and make them look not like they were before and give it a completely different feel. So I've really mostly focused on Illustrator these days.
There's one I want to point out. Let's have a quick look again at the gallery there. The one picture, or the one particular album sleeve, which looked very different because it's lacking the texture, was actually Disarm the Descent. And that was a photograph by somebody else, and it says in the description went through a lot of changes and so on. Why is that one so different?
Well, that is actually a t-shirt design. It's probably the 7th or 8th incarnation of that t-shirt design. Every time we do a tour, we'll get the t-shirts printed. I won't be happy. I'll go and I'll fix the t-shirt for the next time we go out, and then I'll look at it again and not be happy and keep switching it. That particular design, that was the last incarnation of that design. Probably went through eight or 9 different revisions, but I was really happy with how it's got a nice oval shape to it, and it really fit on a t-shirt really well. It's not the cover, but the shirt design. I thought it was really cool to not do just covers, to do an assortment of everything that I do, and I do a lot of t-shirts.
So I mean, is this kind of like your little sideline for when you're not out on the road? How much of your time does this take up?
Well, being on the road, you really have a lot of time to yourself. You got sound check, you have interviews every so often, but other than that, you can get really bored and really homesick if you don't have something to do. So I crack my laptop, I get immersed in artwork, and I don't think about, oh, woe is me, I'm not home. I just think, okay, what's the next project that's going to happen? So jump right into graphic design. Every single day I'll do something, and then when I'm done on the road, that's my full-time job, is doing graphic design work.
I'm going to ask you a really difficult question now. Out of all the artwork that's in the gallery, or others, I'm assuming you've picked your favourites for the gallery. Which one's your favourite? Who's your best child?
I really like. Number one, I love how big everything looks. When I sized everything, I wasn't taking into account how big it was going to look with the mat and then the frame. And then you look at these things and they're immense. So I like all of them because of the size. But in particular, I really thought that the new cover of my other band, Death Ray Vision, came out very, very well. It translated really cool to the big size.
Yeah, fantastic. Mikey, I know you've got a ton of interviews to do, and this gentleman wants you to sign something that's going to scare me. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
The set tonight.
Nice shirt.
And we'll catch you in a couple of hours.
Great, thank you so much. Cheers.